morning, South Florida, and welcome to the breakfast at the Brooklyn Cafe TV.
Take a deep breath and a good whiff of that coffee brewing. Grab yourself some toast, a donut, or any breakfast as Dawn and Freddie get you up and ready for the rest of the day.
So call in at 888-565-1470 to share a tip of the day.
Or just to say good morning. Shake off your sleepies, buckle in, because it's showtime.
Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe, the Cafe Brew.
Cafe Brew with our morning crew who's running a little late. How does that happen by Wednesdays? We've worn everybody out, including ourselves?
Well, I hope they're not worn out because we got some new stuff coming through. I see that we got a couple of live hostesses for BYOB.
I'm excited. We haven't even really launched it, so I think we need to launch it.
But before we get there, I want to say thank you to all the people who watch this morning at midday and share out the show. What's the matter?
I'm bigger than you.
You're bigger than me.
Look.
No, it's... And I'm the one that set that camera.
And you're the one that set both cameras. How you like that?
You know what it is? You don't sit down.
I am.
But you don't sit down.
Thank you. That's so much better. Much better. Thank you very
No,
much.
she wait a minute. She shrunk and I look like Jolly Green Giant. No, you don't have to make me smaller. Make it a tiny bit bigger. Just a tiny bit. It ain't easy with that camera. That camera has a very loosey-goosey finger trigger. There you go, right there. You had
morning
it.
to you.
That's not the other way. Right there. Perfect. All right, here we go.
Here we go.
We start all over. Good morning. That's Valerie doing her magic on the board. I want to say thank you to all of you that have shared out the show and have been with us since the very beginning. It's nice to have friends, and to our new friends, I want to say hello as well. But I got a lot of stuff in the news that I want to go over this morning. I also want to say right away, because at midday we're going to have Laser Lady. Last night she did her second show. Outstanding.
Leslie Carmen from Carmen Care.
Outstanding show she did last night. She actually put on a fantastic performance. You know what a fantastic performance?
Sure, tell me.
She spoke about what she does, and she talked about the same thing we talked about throughout the day. Your body has the elements to heal itself. All they're doing is waking it up and bringing it forward. So that's good news, and the business is coming back to life. The beast
love that. I'm so happy about
is out of the
that
cage.
for her, I have to tell you, because just the thought of it not coming back and people not working with her, and you know, she said her landlord is working with her, which from the bottom of my heart makes me feel so happy because
sending her clients.
He's sending her clients, and he's making it work for her, and to know that he is doing this during this time and who he is just speaks volumes for our community and everything. So
it's funny because how many landlords do you know that say, let me send you clients and back it out of the rent and we'll get there. You know, landlord usually, I was a landlord and says, okay, where's the rent? And where's the rent? And bad times, and where's the rent?
But you know, that says so much about our community because our landlord's different than her landlord. And our landlord has been spectacular and worked with us during those times. Her landlord is working with her now. I have heard some people, and I've heard a lot of interesting things. Hairdressers, nail salon people, their landlords are asking for full payment, nothing discounted. And here's the thing, if you're a landlord, you don't have employees. If you're renting out or subleasing a tremendous space like some of these co-op hair salons, you don't qualify for PPP or idle money because you're one person. And if you don't have employees and you're able to collect rents on your own as a landlord, they're back in the same situation that all these other people are. So they need that money to pay their rent, to pay their landlord. But what I've been getting a lot in emails, I've got a lot of these emails for PPP saying you have not completed your application. If you do, they've opened it up. So now it's 40%.
Less restrictions.
Less restrictions. Longer time to pay it back if you don't fall within the restrictions. It's only 1%, which is unheard of. That's like free money.
And I heard they documentation has shifted from one kind of document to 3 alternative documents.
Interesting.
Now, let me just say, I used to be a landlord, and this message I want the landlords to hear, or a friend if you know a landlord, or just tell your landlord. The object of the game is if you own commercial, if you're renting commercially, what this pandemic has shown us is that you can run a business remotely. You could do it virtually. You could do online business. It is the problem that people don't understand in this country. The reason that big box business is in trouble is because online, you can do the same, if not more. That company in New York, she did 4 times the amount. The reason she opened the doors and is paying that incredible rent on Park Avenue is because she misses the community.
It's interesting. I want Valerie to take a mic, and who's here, Vinny? My cousin Vinny, come on in and grab a mic after you take your temperature. Because Valerie works for a big box, I guess theoretically a big box store.
That's true. She does. She works
I
at
don't
the
think of
mall.
it that way, but it
Yeah,
is a big box store.
It is.
And
It's a big box store.
move that. Have a seat.
Yeah, move those things.
Move the bag. Move the calendar.
The interesting aspect of this is what landlords should learn is that you should work with people, because the bottom line here is that without them paying rent and starting out slow and feeling appreciated, you're going to have a problem. You're going to have a lot of empties. I walked into a mall where I go to get Burger King, the Impossible Burger, whatever. That mall's completely empty except for one store.
Where's there a mall that has a Burger King?
It's a mini mall.
What
You know, one
neighborhood?
of the small, in Military.
Okay.
Everything there is empty. So in comes this beautiful Mercedes, and he's parked in the parking lot. I know who that is. I know who it is. It's the guy who rents out the stores.
Ah.
So he was switching cars. He was going from the super duper luxury model Mercedes to a regular Mercedes. So I said to him, "Are you the agent?" And he says, "Yes." And I said to him, "Kind of lonely out here." He says, "You wouldn't believe traffic. The store, I'm 95% empty in this mini mall."
Wow.
So I said, "You worried?" He said, "Nah, people will come back." I said, "You want to bet?" And he looked at me. He says, "You know, I've been having a bad day already. Don't give me a worse day." Chinese stores, laundromat, everything empty, gone, boom.
See, those are the things I would think would stay open.
Gone.
Laundromats. People still got to wash their laundry. If you don't have a washer and
Not
dryer
that
in your
kind of.
home,
I mean, a laundry where.
oh, like a dry cleaner?
A dry cleaner.
Oh, that I heard. Actually, one of the sponsors of another show, because people stopped going to work as much. They didn't have dirty clothes.
But all of these different places, odds and end stores, dollar store, or even the dollar store, all gone. All gone because they've realized that they can do stuff online, or they can find alternatives. A lot of people, what they're doing is grouping, like 4 stores in one.
Like subletting.
It's called 4 stores in one. Have you seen it? It's on
No,
Military.
are you serious?
It's 4 different stores in one location.
So they're sharing rent.
That's right, because they could not afford the rents among them. I mean, this is earth-shattering stuff, because what's going to happen is this is going to catch on. Will the stores get back? Now, you were working on Friday, right? On what? Monday.
Yesterday. 2 days
Oh,
ago.
2 days ago. And was the stores empty? The rest of the other stores?
The rest, like other stores in the mall?
Yep.
Maybe it's 1 in 4. I don't know if you guys ever switched it
Maybe
back.
just open up all 4 that way. We'll figure it out later.
Test.
It's on.
Yeah? Okay. There were a lot of stores open. I had gone there a couple weeks ago, and
No, it's not on.
yes, it is. It's going up.
It's going up?
Yeah.
Okay.
The majority of the stores were not open, and that was probably 2 weeks ago. And now on Monday when I went, because our store opened, and there were a lot of malls. There were a lot of stores open,
Now the store's open.
and a lot of the little kiosks too in the middle of the mall.
Open.
Those were open too.
Now,
Is
when-
there a corporate, anything coming down from corporate saying our quarter is down, our quarter is up, we're even, we need to open the stores, we don't? Because you would think people could order where you work online and return it if it doesn't fit.
Right.
I mean, people have made returns. I ordered a ton of clothes from an online consignment store, and half of it's going back. And they're like, all right, this gets a store credit, this gets your money back.
Walmart will not take any merchandise back right now.
Come on.
Yep.
I mean, if you order online,
No.
if
Nothing.
you buy it,
Nothing.
why?
They don't want to deal with it right now. You had to hold on to it.
We're taking stuff back, but what a lot of people like to do is, like, if they don't have coupons or something with them at the time when they buy it, they like to return and rebuy. They're not able to do that. They can return, you can exchange, but once it's returned to us, it has to sit in the back for 24 hours. It will not go back on the floor.
Oh, can't go back on the floor
Walmart-
Because of the virus.
So they're thinking
They-
about it being spread through an item. And 24 hours is kind of the umbrella? I'm
I
just
guess
wondering.
so. I guess
Interesting.
so.
Well, Walmart said, because I'm good friends with the people at Walmart when I did that thing with Double R.
Right.
And there was a lady that bought a TV. And the TV in the box was not the TV outside the box.
That's crazy.
So she said, "This is crazy." The receipt says outside the box, that's what she bought. The TV inside the box was inferior to the TV that should have been in there, right? So she wants to change it. So the lady says, I'm going to get a store manager. Manager says, this is what I want you to do. I want you to staple or tape or something that's a receipt on the box, and I want you to come back next month because we're not taking any merchandise back, right? They don't want any merchandise.
For the same reasoning, you think, because they think it's being spread?
They
per
don't
item?
know, and they're making sure.
Interesting.
Now, if there is a different Walmart where you go to, and they are taking merchandise back, let me know, because the one on Military and off of Linton, that one's a little bit, always been a little bit different, a little odd.
It is a little different. The
It is
one we
odd.
used to go to up in Delray was not like that.
No, the one in Delray, they knew us by our first name, and we walked in and walked out, and no line, no wait, no nothing.
They were awesome.
There was nobody there. And it was huge. Now, I want to ask my cousin Vinny, so pick up your mic. I want to ask my cousin Vinny, as a consumer, right? Make sure that mic is on.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
As a consumer, as a person, let's say you want to go to the Apple store or a phone store, or maybe buy something for your girlfriend at that store. Do you feel comfortable doing it?
Yeah, why not?
So you would go,
Yeah, but I just like Apple Store. They're just horrendous.
or they had too many people?
Well, that too, and just I'm pretty sure they just rip you off sometimes.
Well, thank you for sharing. But
Would you go to the
would
mall?
you
I
just
think
go
is
to
the
the mall?
question.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely I would.
So would you go to a restaurant and everything? Have you gone?
Not yet actually. I want to, but I didn't.
But you would do it with no fear.
Yeah, I would no fear.
You would go to the restaurants too?
I went to Olive Garden to do takeout. I walked in, I got my food, and I left. I don't know about sitting yet. I will say if I don't work in it, if it wasn't for me working in a mall, I probably would not be going anytime soon. Just because for the sheer reason I don't feel like waiting on a line.
Hey, Slick, come in here, Slick. Well, we can put Slick on that mic over there. Sit over there
You take your temperature?
and wash your hands. You know the protocol. You know, the funny thing about this is that the younger generation, because they're in their 20s, they have less fear of anything else.
I love that about working with them.
Well, I love it too, but sometimes the older generation get a little scared.
You're good? 98. Who's here, Teddy?
Teddy,
Ah,
take that mic. Take mic 4. Teddy, grab a mic. I want to ask you guys, are you comfortable going to the mall? Are you comfortable going to the mall? Open up 4. Are you comfortable going to the mall and sitting in a restaurant or shopping? Are you at that stage yet?
I'm at the stage of going to the mall because I like sneaker shopping and I don't like doing it online. So if a sneaker store is open, I'm gonna have to go to.
You like sneaker shopping?
I like
Slick, I got-
shoe shopping and sneaker
it
shopping.
sounds like my son. I got to tell you, Slick. I was watching America Dance, one with J-Lo. What's the name of that show?
Well, you think you can dance?
So
you think you can dance?
or worldwide dance or something?
I think you remind me of Neo.
Really?
You gotta watch. He wears a hat like you,
Yeah.
or you wear a hat like him. His whole demeanor, he's like an offshoot of Neo. I was watching it last night going, that's slick. We got our own Neo in the house, Teddy.
Neo, isn't that a cartoon?
But
No.
he's-
He's a singer.
but
What did you say?
Mr. Vinny is lying to you guys. Mr. Vinny wanted to go to a buffet yesterday before I started.
Okay,
Slick
now let's
Speak.
stop right there.
Yeah.
A buffet.
Yes.
Yes.
You don't mind, you're not afraid. I mean, people are afraid of going to buffets on a good day. And you're going to go to a buffet.
I can't believe
A
they're even
sushi
open.
buffet.
A sushi raw fish buffet.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Santos and Boca, like close to here.
And it was open?
Yeah, it's open now.
Teddy, you're a warrior. Would you go to a restaurant? Just leave them
Just
all
open
open.
'em all.
Just open them all. Would you go to a restaurant?
Are you gonna kick me out if I say I did?
No, not at all. This guy's going to sushi's.
I'm not that dumb.
She said that I didn't.
Restaurant.
A restaurant,
would.
not a buffet.
Correct.
Now there is a Chinese buffet that I went to in Deerfield and something, and it's Casey, and I love it. I love the place. The place
Kelsey.
is Kelsey, whatever, the K lady.
I'm like,
I love the place, but I would not go to a buffet right now. I would not.
you know what I want to do? I want to go to commercial break. I want to set up the cameras in the theater. This way we can get them on cameras and we can stay in here and have a whole conversation so everyone can be socially distanced but yet be a part of the conversation. and we can continue with your buffet. I don't do buffets. You and I talked about this 4 years ago. I don't like the germs.
I
I
gotta
don't
tell
like
you
the
something.
shields
I am going to pick to run a commercial right at the height
of the buffet.
of something that you're
But
talking about.
I'm
All right,
wa- I'm watching them all,
you know
and I
what? You
have
know what?
Something really important to say. So
That's it. That's
let's
it.
bring them all
That's
into the
over.
conversation.
We are going to take a commercial
I want to know
because
where Teddy went to eat too.
Freddie's head's going to stick his head in the coffee because obviously what I say isn't important. So we shall be right back.
We'll be right
They
back.
call me Don Pablo, and 20 years ago, I discovered my passion for great quality coffee. Today, we're roasting excellent quality coffee that's rich, smooth, and very complex. It's a taste that's new in the world.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Callaway here from the VoiceOver Connection, and I'm here to tell you that you're missing out. Everybody has a dream, something that they believe can change their life or even change the world. The difference between letting that dream slip and making it come true all depends on whether or not you can make the world believe your dream too. Here at the VoiceOver Connection, we specialize in selling dreams. Our team of well-connected and influential voices will help take your ambitions, your deepest and wildest aspirations to places that you never imagined you could reach. The time for dreaming is over. You've done enough of that already. It's time to take action. Elevate your business by giving your dream a voice. Contact us at 866-224-5422 or email us at thebrooklynCafeTV@gmail.com. Because a dream is only a dream until you decide to make it real.
Dutch Designs and Events is a unique business providing an extensive range of beautiful floral arrangements. They have the power to bring your event or special occasion to life. Dutch Designs are available for any event or to open your business with a smile. All flowers are grown with organic compounds that enhance their fragrance and beauty. Call Dutch Designs at 561-419-8126 or visit their website at DutchDesignsEventPlanning.com. Call Dutch Designs at 561-419-8126.
The way you live your life says a lot about you. The way you choose to commemorate your lifetime can say even more. It's a single event that speaks volumes. So how do you celebrate a life? Dignity Memorial providers believe that your memorial service should be as unique as you are, reflecting your personality and your passions. It should be a perfectly tailored send-off, a fitting tribute for family and friends to celebrate the person they love. We're professionals at catering to your every need, right down to the catering. In fact, no detail is too small. So when it comes time for a fitting tribute, we'll see that your final wishes are beautifully fulfilled. It's what Dignity Memorial providers are known for. And why you should rely on us to see that your life is well celebrated. The celebration of a lifetime begins here.
If you have a business you want to share, ideas you want to be heard, and events you want to be known, then amp them up on Amp It Up, our new online radio station. We want your voice to be heard, so spread the word on Amp It Up. Contact us at 866-224-5422 for more information. Let's amp it up.
Let's all welcome a new sponsor to the show. It's AMP2 TV. the first and only internet production company that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet TV radio production company, discover AMP2 TV, a full-service production company that can provide all streaming videos in studio or remotely. They offer web page development, and they use all the latest platforms to help make all your business selling points more powerful. They can do remotes or live radio streaming as well as tape productions for social media platforms and television. AMP2 TV can handle all of your television needs, including closed caption for a perfect on-air telecast. Choose from a variety of creative TV and radio packages or visit one of their many studios to get your creative juices flowing. Come and see why AMP2 TV works with many major companies including Comcast, Bravo, and Fox 29, as well as individuals and businesses of all types and sizes. To see samples of their work or to find out more, visit their website at amp2.tv. That's AMP, the number 2.tv, or call them at 866-224-5422. Feel free to call for a quote or just a consult of how to put your business on a social media platform or radio platform, or just doing a show that is covered by all platforms. Call 866-224-5422 and make an appointment. That's 866-224-5422.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And we are back at the Brooklyn Cafe Show. I am loving this. We've got everyone socially distanced on our brew crew. This is what I love. Freddie, we just have to get you on camera because now Freddie is running the board and Valerie is sitting next to me. We've got Teddy and Kelsey over in the theater, and we got Slick and Vinny, my cousin Vinny, in the theater. So much space. We're moving a lot of things around, changing things up. For a second, I was wondering where Teddy and Kelsey were sitting, and now I see where they're sitting because we keep changing the backdrop. I love this place, Freddie.
You just like this set. But anyway, I don't even know if I can hear myself. I have to look at the board.
What happened?
We just lost the whole board.
What do you mean we lost the board?
It's back.
What are you talking about?
You looked down and it went off. Please pay attention.
It didn't go off because of me.
But I want to talk back to what you were talking about buffets and restaurants.
Yes, and they're having a big argument over there.
I
Teddy,
know.
why don't you tell us how you really feel?
What?
Are her lobs open?
Did you unmute her?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, how we feel about buffets and restaurants?
It's over there.
I think it's really gross to go to a buffet right now. I'm calling Vinny out like so hard on it. I think restaurants are pretty okay. I went to one, and the one I went to had plexiglass between all the booths. They, made you watch as they sanitized everything, so I felt a lot better about it. Everyone was wearing masks and gloves. I think that was all right.
I can't. You can.
What do you guys think about that?
I told them before I did my show yesterday, buffets are just not the way to go. If you can do DoorDash, anything else, actually a nice sit-in restaurant with nice space between people, because buffets, you don't know who was in there.
Well, let me ask you, if you
breathing
bring your
over the
own,
food.
Slick, if you bring your own tongs to the buffet, and
Well, you don't know who sneezed.
aren't
They
there
wouldn't
sneeze
say
shields?
anything.
I don't like
True.
buffets in general, but yeah.
Some people go over the sneeze guard. Or no, go under the sneeze guard, not over the sneeze
People
guard.
do that.
I'm actually
Chipotle,
surprised
too.
that buffets are open.
Me
Why?
too.
They
It's
are.
a business. It's like anything else.
They definitely are.
I just
I
don't
heard-
think restaurants are a necessity right now. I
Yeah.
can make a meal at home. Why am I going to risk being around other people?
I think like the lower restaurants, like the fast food, I understand how they could be a necessity because if someone, they're working, you don't have time to go out, just like in normal days. But I think the luxury restaurants are the ones that aren't like that. I don't really think we need them yet. But then again, people still need jobs and they still need to make money. So I don't know. There's a bug flying around here.
Jeff Greenberg wants to go to a buffet.
So let him go.
And Troy says no.
Let him go too.
What is, so it's the sneezing thing, but is that different than restaurants, girls?
What's different?
The buffet versus going to a restaurant?
I think going to a restaurant, it's a bit better because I've worked in a restaurant, so they're always wearing gloves anyway. Now they're wearing masks. It's a chef, it's a kitchen. Buffets, I mean, not even just buffets. Chipotle, I've seen people before the quarantine, they point their hands over the sneeze guards, under them. They want to like stick their finger in the guacamole. It's gross. So now at a buffet, people are trying to do the same thing. They're pointing over, they're going under because you forget that this is the new normal. And I don't know, I think just in general too, they're not, because the food has been sitting out for a while, it's not being made to order. So you just have it sitting there, you don't know what's in the air. Someone could cough, away from the sneeze guard and it can still somehow get to the food. I think it's just a little
Well, maybe what people could, if you own a buffet, maybe you have a worker or two, one does each side, and then you can go through it, right? And you go, I want romaine, I want this, and someone's making it for you, but you can still choose what you want instead of everyone touching everything. That might be an option.
Yeah, I think it just needs a bit of adjustment from where it is now to be safe.
Listen, we're not playing. Let's make a deal. So if you're gonna go
I'm
to a
loving watching
buffet,
you run around.
if you're gonna go to a buffet, you're gonna go to a buffet. That's it. If you don't want to go to a buffet, then don't go to a buffet. But don't say, let's go to a buffet, and can you wear this? Can you do that? Can you do here? Can you do? Forget about that. Then don't go. McDonald's has a great drive-through.
I know.
Then go
But it's
there.
not the best food.
I understand that, but if you're going to a buffet and you're going to criticize it, then why the hell are you going? That's like saying, I want
Well,
to
they
get in a pool, but I
weren't.
don't want to
Vinny
get
wanted
wet.
to go to a buffet, and Slick was like, no, don't go to a buffet.
You know what? Vinny wants to go to a buffet. He's a grown-ass man. He wants to go to a buffet, go. If he gets sick, we say, thank you, Cousin Vinny. I mean, it is what it is, right? It's free choice, right, Vinny? You have a
Yep.
right to get sick. No matter how sick you get.
Yeah.
No matter how many my taxes is going to take care of you when you're in the hospital, you got a right to get sick, right?
Yeah.
There you go. But he has a right. I mean, you do have a right. I seen protesters say, you don't want to get sick, don't come out. He's right. You don't want to get sick, don't come out.
You can stay home.
Stay home. But what Teddy's saying is that don't make me sick. Is that what you're indicating, Teddy?
Yeah. I
And
mean,
she's-
I sound a little cruddier when you say it like that, but yeah.
But
I
it's
think
the
that
truth.
if I'm only going out for things that are a necessity, like I go out for, and I will admit I don't personally do that, but I do have a lot of people in my life who only go out for necessities. And if they're going out for that and they have to go to Publix just to get food to go straight home, why should they have to deal with all of that?
That's
a
right.
lot
Now,
of people are
she's being
living
nice.
alone, they're elderly.
She's doing it politically correct. Me, I'm telling you, you get me sick, I'm going to punch you in the head.
I love watching you
If
back
you get
on
my
board.
dad sick, I'll hurt somebody. If my
I'm
dad
gonna
gets
tell you,
sick,
don't get me sick. You have a right to get sick. Don't get me sick, because I have a right to be angry. I mean, this is what protesting is about, isn't it?
Well, which is why here, when everyone comes in, just so you know, protocols of the Brooklyn Cafe show and Amp Media Productions, all of our shows, if you come into studio, before you pass that mat, which we're going to get a new one from Promo Stuff for you, you take your temperature. And if it is below 100, you're in. If it's over 100, you gotta go.
And we do have a protocol in place where we sit you down, we wait a few minutes before we take the second and third reading. If by number 3 you're still at the 100 mark, you have to leave. And this is not to argue with anybody, it's just the house rules.
As you say, this is not checkers.
That's right, we're playing chess here, and the bottom line is, I say you go, you gotta go. That's the bottom line. I'm gonna err on the side of caution. And you can give me 100 reasons not to, but this is my decision. Just like my cousin Vinny, he can go to any place to eat that he wants.
Right.
And I have the right to do the same.
But as things open up, and my daughter, I talk about her all the time, she is a perfect example of someone that was quarantined for 3 months, I think, in my house. She did not go anywhere except the pool and back to the couch.
She chose that.
But she chose that, right?
She chose that.
But she got through it. She moved back home. She walks the dog. We talked about that. Now she's back at work.
Yes.
And she's at a camp in a 10,000 square foot space at
Yeah.
Space of Mind. They have 4 campers. 4. And they have 10 or 16 in staff. So if you are looking for a camp, a day camp for your kids, Space of Mind is open. They have a ratio of 5 to 1.
She's working in Space of Mind?
She's working at Space of Mind. She started on Monday.
I didn't know that.
Because you and I work together, but we don't even talk to each other. She started on Monday. They've
sorry,
got all
what's
these.
your
Oh, huh?
What's
Nice
your
to
name?
meet you. Happy 4 years of marriage to you. But she says, and she said this to me. She said, I quarantined for 3 months, and now I am back in the world. But they wear masks, but they eat together. Is it a large table? Yes. You have to take your mask off to eat, right? This doesn't go through a straw. So people are out, and everyone's doing what they can do that they feel the most comfortable with. But you have to do what works for you. Everyone does their own thing. What are you doing over there?
I am removing microphones that are not being used.
I love watching you on the board. You know, guys, when Freddie and I started this 4 years ago, it was Freddie behind the encoder like you see here, which we can't even see, and me here, and then we had a guest over there. And this is all, and he brought it in, and we had none of this unbelievable things that we have going on. But we have a new show starting on Friday. You want to talk about it?
Which show?
Which one?
BYOB.
Oh, yeah. That's going to make its debut at 11 o'clock on Friday. And she's happy because she got the
BYOB.
BYOB.
And
which I-
MailChimp, our Cafe Press went out yesterday.
Yeah, we need to talk about that. I can't deliver the MailChimp logo on the blast. Did the MobiPop send out the blast?
I got to send it to her.
Okay, well, we need that done because I'm a mess.
Why?
Because it's got to be the best Cafe Press I've ever seen. Of all the ones you sent out, every month it gets better and better. But this one, this is tops.
Really?
Oh my God, it had everything in this thing. The only thing missing is a coupon.
What do you want the coupon to
I
be
don't know.
for? A free-
$5 off a bag of coffee. I don't care what it is.
Oh, okay.
We know so many restaurants. You don't think we can get a coupon?
Okay.
That's all we're missing. It is the best work I have ever seen. I looked at it for maybe an hour and a half yesterday. I read through all of it. I sent it to Gio. He says, don't you think it's kind of long? I said, when you buy the newspaper, you buy a newspaper for 4 pages or you get 30 pages? It's like a magazine. It's the best thing I've ever seen.
It was an absolute team effort, that Cafe Press. Something that I always wanted to do when we did the Cafe Press. V put the outline together, and Dina came in, and then Valerie did a piece last week, Slick did a piece, and
It's the best.
there were 3 pieces. I forgot.
I could
about
tell you
the
the
piece.
part that Slick did because I saw the way he writes. I said, look, that Slick wrote that.
Slick did the video for Black Lives Matter. Actually,
saw
there's
that.
a video I want to send you, see if we can pull that also. But it was a total collaborative effort. Dina worked on it, I worked on it, then Teddy put her eyes on it yesterday and re-edited it with Kelsey, and then it went out. So I'm glad
It's-
you got to see it.
It's a lot of work to put that stuff together.
People don't realize how much work it is.
It is. And I also am impressed. This is why you guys are exhausted. And Teddy, I want you to take note of this because it has nothing to do with us. They do now the weekend review. And that looks exhausting, what you guys do. That is a fundamental sound piece. I love it. It does everything. It talks about the shows, all of the parts and pieces that have to be put in that thing. You have to do a running clock on that. I was going to tell Valerie, when you do it, do a running clock. It'll make your life easier because there's so much that we cover. You know, I get exhausted watching all the material that we cover in a week.
I don't know how she even remembers. You know, I go home and people say to me, who'd you have on this morning? I went, I gotta look and see.
I can't even remember you.
What's your name?
I have no idea. All right, I want to ask a couple of questions, changing gears. I want to ask a couple of questions, and I want to get some feedback because I want to do in the news, and this is when I would play the in the news piece, da-da-da-da, or something. We have to work on it. But something
have
came out
the
yesterday that was
third.
very intriguing to me, something that it came out this morning, and I want to ask everybody's opinion. Apparently, the situation with Floyd took a turn yesterday, where apparently his accused murderer, second degree, worked with him in a club. They were working in the same
They were
club.
bouncers or something, right?
He was the bouncer on the inside, and the cop was moonlighting as a bouncer on the outside of the club. Why is that important? Apparently, the way it worked, him and Floyd had bumped heads on an incident that occurred inside the club that weekend. And they get paychecks, and the inside bouncers pay the outside bouncers. And apparently the officer had money missing, or he thought that he should have been paid something else. Floyd handed him the check, and he took it out on Floyd. So there was a little attitude going on. There were 2 witnesses to the incident with the club owner that said that the cop was a little bit icy with minorities. And the Floyd incident was witnessed by 2 people who said Floyd had nothing to do with the check. He was just handing it to him, and he kept telling him, I have nothing to do with your money. And they got into it. So the question that I have, with that kind of information, did the cop know Floyd? And did he know him on the ground to be somebody he worked with at the club?
What do you guys think?
I mean, I don't think that really changes what happened, except
Oh,
for
I'm about to tell you how it changes everything.
solidifies the second-degree murder.
That's right. It makes it murder. It makes it.
I mean, it already was murder.
What do you think? That makes it premeditated? Is that the
That's
difference?
right. That's right. Now, let me tell you what the difference is.
Well, premeditated murder means you go out to kill somebody.
That's right.
You think that's what this was?
That's right.
How far apart were when they worked at the club versus when it happened? When
It
the
happened
whole
over the
thing-
weekend, and I think he got murdered on Monday.
I don't
Wait,
think
they still worked at the club?
That weekend, they were working together. And there's incidents that they bumped heads. But the attempted, if you're going to design to kill someone, it changes the equation of the game. Because it then, without reasonable doubt, it changes the outcome of this case, the matter, and everything else. And now they are investigating other incidents, and apparently the Minneapolis Police Department was just a giant messed up place. And this is all coming out because of it. So you should see how the news is actually reporting this, because you got to be careful. Because the defense attorney can say, oh, the whole world already condemned them, we can't have a trial.
Well, there you go. Right
There you
to
go.
a jury trial of your peers.
Exactly.
Well, then
So
they have to change the venue, but you can't even change the venue.
where are you
on
going to put
this.
them?
Exactly.
Iceland. No, the North Pole.
Well, you'd have to find a place where nobody has heard of this case.
Yeah, Jupiter. Because everybody's heard of this case. There are riots going on all over the world.
I
But
mean,
it
did
does
you hear
change it
about-
because all of a sudden you have
Teddy, I think, is saying something.
You have murder one. Yeah, Teddy.
I was just gonna say, did you hear about there's a lot of police departments and private security in Florida who are tweeting out to these different police departments saying, hey, anyone you let go of, we're not super strict, we're not, governed by these whatever people, like, we'll take you in. And there's a lot of private security who's doing that in Florida, who's taking in these
hey,
people who
how
are
are
released.
you? I know she was coming.
She's coming.
Nobody tells me nothing. That's true. And they are going to open up now. I want to tell you, Newark Police Department, just moved in. Newark Police Department came out on the news this morning. They are a change deal. If you lived in Newark, I used to live not too far from Newark when I was in Manhattan. They used to have riots in Newark every day. It was bad. And they've changed their policing. Everything has changed, right? So the mayor went up there during the week, I don't know if you guys saw it, he made everybody in the police department take a knee. Now, we talked about taking a knee. It's why Trump won't do it. It's why big politicians won't do it, because just like they don't understand the flag and all that, they think that taking a knee is a sign of weakness. So my next question to the crew is, do you think taking a knee is a sign of weakness? Well, let's start with Valerie this time.
Kendra, you want to sit there?
Oh, it's not, though.
Somebody give me an answer. Do
Oh,
you
it's
think
not.
taking a
It's
knee-
actually like, I would say taking a knee is reaching that middle ground, even though that they may feel that what's the word? They may feel that they may not understand, but I feel like the police and the governing officers and our like political figures
So
should
you don't
take
think
a knee.
it's weakness?
Because in the crowd of the riots, people praise like when they actually do take a knee, because there was one officer in Huizinga that took a knee, and she only took a knee for like a split, I wouldn't say a split second, but just a couple minutes, and all of the officers around her did not take a knee. But once she took a knee, everybody praised the fact that she took a knee, because it actually shows that they actually are seeing that this is an injustice. So it's like reaching the middle ground, I would say. So taking a knee is a good thing. It's not a sign of
What
weakness.
about you, Valerie? You think taking a knee is weakness, sign of weakness?
No, I think it's a sign of respect.
Okay. And what about the rest of you? Vinny, what do you think? Taking a knee, sign of weakness, yes or no?
Go for it. If you're going to take a knee, do it.
I mean, if you're a police officer, taking a knee, sign of weakness or no?
I think you have to think about, too, where taking a knee comes from. Because, I mean, in lots of sports, when something happens, when even just you're listening to the ref, and I understand there's differences of what it means, But taking a knee is what armed forces do, police officers do. We need to take a break if you're not, you can't really sit down. It's what athletes do. Taking a knee is a normal thing, and it's now put into a sign of protest of, I'm not going to sit down, because no one's going to sit down for the flag, because they still have respect for it, but they are not going to give the full standing attention, because, yeah, it's not right what's going on, and I don't think it's a sign of weakness at all. I think it's a sign of a respectful protest.
Kelsey, what do you think?
Well, and when you look at Kaepernick too, I mean, to say that taking a knee is a sign of weakness, it's not. He had so much pushback. It takes a lot of strength.
Kelsey, make sure you have your mic attached because we can't hear you.
She has a lav on.
She has it on? Okay. Say that again.
I was saying, can you hear me?
Here, try this mic.
There you go. Can you hear me now? Hi.
Go ahead.
I was saying with Kaepernick, it takes a lot of strength to take a knee. He got so much pushback. That's power, that's strength, that's asserting that this is what's right and I'm gonna do it. And there was an article, I don't know what church it was, I don't know what town it was in, where the parishioners, the white members of the church took a knee for the black members of the church and apologized.
Oh, wow.
And then the black members of the church took a knee and all together said, I don't remember what verbatim they said, but we receive your apology. It is, like Slick said, a sign of respect, mutual ground, and strength.
Okay. And we have a new member here on the set. Kendra, what do you think?
So my independent thought on this is that police brutality ain't rosy, and neither is George Floyd's past. So that's my independent thought on this whole situation.
Well, everybody is upset about the outcome of this stuff, and this is not something. I mean, you guys are young, but this has been going on since the early '60s. Abusive behavior has happened. I mean, I gotta tell you, Black Lives Matter. I get it. But I can tell you a story about Spanish Lives Matter. I can tell you stories about different things that happen in different cultures. And Hispanics still feel that way, but we don't say anything.
The Holocaust?
Listen,
The Holocaust as well.
the redhead emoji for Apple didn't come out until like a year ago, and I'm like, emojis have been out. Like, where's my redhead lives matter?
I have
you know?
one. I have one.
I can call you can build a case around anything and,
Yeah, but
and say
I don't want to build a case.
hashtag
I
lives
just want to
matter.
say hate has always been around.
Absolutely.
If you look back at the Roman Empire when religious hates, the religious wars.
You
can
can
look
go
at-
back to the crucifixion
Racism
of
has
Jesus.
been socially
It's always
engineered
been
in our society since the dawn of man.
Exactly. And I like to argue this point as if the leaders of a country are going to be leaders of a country, then be a leader. I can't understand why our president has to surround himself with gates and everything else. I told you this. I'm running for president. If I am the president of the United States, I have to be able to walk among the people who put me in office. If I can't do that, then I'm not doing something right.
Kelsey, let's start a campaign. Freddie for president.
Why
We'll
not?
put that out on graphic.
I would love to do
Got
it.
you.
I would
She's
love
like,
to do
got
it.
you.
But the problem is, people won't vote for me because I'm going to tell you the truth, and people don't like the truth. That's the problem. I'm not politically correct either. I'm going to tell you.
Teddy, we know that, right?
You don't smell good. You don't smell good. I mean, what can I tell you? That's why God created soap. Hello. But I'm going to be honest.
Running on, Freddie?
What was that?
Is that the campaign you're running on?
Gotta love
You don't smell
Dove.
good. You don't smell good.
You know what? Yeah, you're right.
It's just a remarkable change of venue. And trust me, I was in the auxiliary police force for a couple of years, and I love my brothers in blue. I understand what it takes to work that job. Actually, I'm glad I didn't do it because it takes a whole different type of individual not to be affected by that surrounds you. And there are situations, and being a tough guy, you do it because you're afraid of the other guy. Like the Miami Police Department was the best example where they were shooting with little pop guns and the bad guys had AK-47s and they had to go to court to get weapons to match up with the bad guys because it just got out of hand. There's truth to every side of the story.
There's truth everywhere. And Kendra, tell us, you are between here and California, you are in the music industry.
Yes.
What are you feeling and hearing from the celebrity side of this?
Well, a lot of the celebrities are definitely taking the more extreme leftist side because that's how our system is socially engineered at this point. You don't see a lot of celebrities coming out and saying an independent narrative. You know, they're pushing a certain movement, and I mean that's just the nature of Hollywood and the government acting as one to push a certain movement. However, for me, in order to stay true to who I am, I always like to have my independent thoughts. So that's why I said, like, police brutality ain't rosy, and George Floyd's past ain't either. You know, because a true like martyr and true hero would be Martin Luther King Jr., who did and acted without violence. If we take a look at George Floyd's past, he committed so many crimes, like all involving violence. So I don't think like this particular person should be a martyr for this certain movement.
Well, I think that the martyr part of it is about how he died at the hands of law enforcement. As I remember, Martin Luther King was also murdered. Okay, he was shot and murdered. As I remember, Jesus Christ was crucified. As I remember, there have been stories of those that lead the revolt against those that don't, and they will do everything in their power to stop it. I heard about Floyd's past. I heard about the gun with the pregnant woman, the whole nine. I heard that he had a colorful past.
Yes.
But I don't think that the injustice is about his past. It's
definitely because being a creative, I've always questioned authority, and authority has always been a very it's been not an issue with me. It's just been something that I have paid attention to.
And you have a right to.
And
Absolutely.
because ever since going through school, I've questioned administration and the school system, and I've always questioned authority. And when people take that authority and they become violent, physical, and they let their sort of anger and impulses get the best of them, then that's when the system fails, essentially.
Because the system is built not to resolve those kind of problems. It's built to try to head off the problem before it starts. But when the ones that are doing the policing become abusive in power for different reasons, some justify, some not. There are justified reasons as well. It doesn't matter what color the culprit or the bad guy is. A bad guy is a bad guy. I don't know if anybody's been on this planet that's never had to call 911 because
Can you just look up at the screen? Everyone is working at the same time. You talk about multitasking of a generation.
Yeah, they don't realize they're on camera and everybody's watching.
Vinny's working, Teddy's working, everyone's doing their own thing.
Yeah, but the bottom line here is, going forward, how do we resolve the issue? I mean, there's going to be 400 different thoughts, and how do you get them all on one table? One person can only fit through the door. So how do you do it?
Well, I think what I love about our crew that everyone's here is we get to do a creative spin on it. Now our credits, something that we've talked about for so long, we now have our rolling credits with your song that we sent you, which is every time I watch it, I cry because there's so much of it that it's your song, your music. You just put words out there and the music brings it forward. You do your week in review, which culminates everything far better than a picture. What we sent out yesterday, Freddie, the creative space is a space that we are so fortunate to have all these joint minds come together and put out ideas. The piece Slick did last week when he went down to the protest, part of what we sent out on Cafe Press. We're fortunate to be able to have that creative space to share this with. People that don't have that outlet, I think, are out there protesting in their own way.
Yes.
When you write songs, do you take the overall feel of what the community is, what you're feeling, and you put that, it's almost like your way of protesting and having your voice.
Well, I don't really see it as a protest. I feel it's more of me creatively and artistically designing the songs for me, You know, and it's not supposed to be about a movement. Like I'm not pushing an agenda necessarily. So that's why a lot of people have said that what I put out there has more meaning, because it's not all agenda based.
And you're going to be on Teddy Unscripted today at 10:30. Teddy, what are you going to talk to Kendra about?
I want to talk to Kendra about everything, and I want to talk about how she started, because I understand that, you know, you guys have known Kendra forever, but I've only just kind of met Kendra recently in the past few months, and I want to know about how she started, what her inspirations are for all this, and I especially want to delve into her songs that she was doing. That was the direct inspiration from the 80s song that I don't want to quite give away yet until the show, but I'm really excited about that. And then just what she's doing now, especially with quarantine, because her Instagram's been blowing up.
The songs are incredible.
Oh, thank
Well,
you.
inspiration, I guess you get inspired by things that happen around you and things in your life and yada, 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 right? Your friends and people tell you bits and pieces and you make music out of it.
Absolutely, that's the beauty of the journey and the path.
And I gotta ask you, Avalanche, to me, is the best work you've ever done. Since the beginning, since I've known you.
Thank
I
you.
have called Miami, I've called iHeart, I've called everybody trying for people to listen to this song. That song right now makes everybody emotional with what's going on. It's the beat that it has.
And what you put together with it,
Unreal.
it's every single time.
Unreal. Are you planning something spectacular? Because I know that you were with your PR people. I know something's coming. I can smell it, baby. I know something's coming. What are you going to do with this thing?
What am I gonna do with this thing? Well, right now we're just I'm putting together content. I don't think it's called content. That's what you call Instagram posts. But I'm compiling a lot of creations right now to put an album together and to, you know, just release and just let the wild beasts run as soon as we get out of this whole shutdown. So
I have a platform, pay-per-view platform, which we're going to open up. And we're going to do this for non-for-profits and everything else. And I want you to do your whole rack and play that song on there. And we are talking about raising money through auction, raising money for a nonprofit. Maybe there'll be 3 involved. But this is going to be a pay-per-view channel, which is going to be streamed from here. It's going to be on that channel, and then we're going to use social media to come in and join us. But I'm inspired by the fact that music is creativity, okay? And the music community, they did that Black Tuesday, I understand that. But there's a lot of
What's
other
the outcome
things.
of all of that?
A lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people didn't play music that day.
So-
Not everybody. The radio stations continue to play music.
Was the
right?
result what the music industry was looking for? You did it.
I think it was just a movement just to give
Solidarity.
something. Yeah, give solidarity and
It's like a band, you know, when a baseball player dies or something, they put the black band on, or the cops over the badge and stuff like that. So it was a great point, and they talked about it from noon to night, which is, I think, what they wanted to do. But this is some of the things that you do. Your music inspires other people to talk about how they feel. So your timing on this thing is great. You tell your PR people to call me, because I think now is the time to push it from here to Europe. I spoke to Monica, and I sent it over there as well. I said, listen, you got to listen to this thing.
I know.
Remember the movie La Bamba? How they got that kid started? They put that song on, the guy ran around and says, you haven't heard this? Are you insane? I mean, he sounded like something was missing out of your life if you didn't hear this thing. And that's the push that this thing needs, that I see anyway. But I don't know what I'm doing. I sort of make it up as I go along.
But you heard it when she was here. We put it on the credits, and I got to tell you, what you put together, Valerie, is amazing. Slick's piece. I mean, the Cafe Press this time that just went out, and you're in it as well, Kendra. They edited. Were you singing here?
Yes.
Last week, singing the song.
I saw that, and that was very special, and that made me smile. So thank you.
Good. It was a culmination of all of these great pieces that we have envisioned doing. And when I run around saying things 10 times and no one hears me, but I guess they do, when you actually see it come out, you look and you say, wow, look at what we've been able to accomplish coming out of a pandemic. You've got hit songs. And you did this during a pandemic. We have grown with new clients and new producers and new interns during a pandemic. The best cafe press, right? During a pandemic.
You make me laugh.
Why?
Because when you say something that you want done, you should say, this is what I want done. You say something, everybody stands around and says, does she want us to do that or not? Nobody knows.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to start
What was that song when
recording
E.F.
you.
Hutton talks, people listen?
People listen.
When Dawn speaks, nobody listens.
Everybody listens. But you're not saying to do anything. Like if you wanted that microphone moved over here, I think it'd be a good idea if this mic was over there. And she leaves it like that. And everybody's like, okay, what does that
I
mean?
know, Teddy, don't follow me in the world of direction.
You got to be more specific.
So I've got someone coming on next week talking about leadership and how to be more specific as
Hey,
a
you're
leader.
in Class 101.
Exactly.
I got to laugh. It's just funny sometimes some of the things that come up.
Got to welcome Kelsey back to our family. It's been a long time. So I'm glad she's back working on social media, and she's doing some more content for some new clients. She and Teddy have a client there working with, Amy Minty. So that's going to be fantastic with the two of them.
We're going to be doing our Gubba Rum deal.
Does she have 2 mics, Kelsey?
She has 2 mics because I can't get the lav to work.
I took it off.
She took it off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is better.
We got to check the lav.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's fun. It's fun to have the kids back in town. We got a lot of work to do, a lot of things to do. Do you have a fan club? And if you better not say no. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna jump out of this chair. How do you join your fan club?
There's a membership fee. Just kidding.
That's okay. I would pay. What's wrong with that? Why is she laughing?
What's the fee?
She doesn't have one.
$10.
I searched everywhere.
The fee is unconditional love. How about that?
Perfect.
I searched everywhere for your fan club. So before you leave today, we're gonna put that together.
It's a secret society.
There is a secret society. You don't want to belong to that group.
And it starts
Bada boom.
I know all about that.
I know you do.
When we
Because I
went,
found your name in there anyway.
when we went to see Kendra sing, oh my gosh, years ago at Vino,
Yeah.
and your mom was there.
Yes.
And I'll never forget your mom said to me, that was the first time I met her, was how much she loves you, Freddie, for always believing in Kendra. Because you knew Kendra before I even worked with you.
That was the easy part. Believing in Kendra's easier. You
She's
just gotta
incredible,
watch
right?
it flow. Amazing human being. It's in the day when I knew her. I spoke in the day. It's gonna be like 5 years ago. She was different than
How did you
anybody
guys
else.
even meet each other?
Through
Peter.
Kristen.
Who?
Kristen.
Was it?
Yeah, through Kristen, yeah.
He doesn't even
I
remember.
don't even remember.
I don't even know who that is.
But it's been history, and I don't understand. I look high and low for her fan club, and I wanted to join, and I wanted to make some noise. So we're going to put a fan club together. Tell you, PR people, I need their approval because they're the ones running the campaign. But I think a fan club, even if it's $1 to join, you go give it to charity. I don't care if you want to make it.
It's an above ground secret
Hey,
society.
Vinny, can you help create Kendra's fan club?
That would be yes, Vinny.
Yes, he can. Yes, he can.
Gave up
He's
his
working.
mic.
He's
He
working
gave
on
up his
something. He gave
mic.
up his
Yeah, I can
mic.
create.
I think he
Kendra's fan
gave
club.
up his mask.
And I'm going to tell you, Kendra's fan club would be a little bit different because she has so many different emotions. You look at a rainbow, and that would be her.
And where
How
do
you
people
doing?
find your music?
On Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, SoundCloud, Twitter, Twitch, Tinder,
Are you
Grindr.
you're on Spotify?
So
you
all of it.
Do you have a podcast?
Ginger's Mingle.
Do you have a podcast?
I will.
That's 2 no's.
But she answers you, yes, I do, and I will.
I will. No, I'm going to talk to your people because you need all this. This is all part of the creative arts of what
It's
you
all
do.
part of the plan.
That's right. So, and it's really simple. It's really simple to do. It's not as complicated as it sounds. Don't let anybody fool you. The hardest part about what you do is being you, because nobody can do that. Simple.
Well, and that's what I'm pushing is for people to embrace who they are innately and individually, and to not fall into the mold, because what's been happening is everyone's been pushing this whole, oh, be different, I'm different, and then you go on Instagram and everyone's faces look the same.
You look at the camera
It's
the
this
same
very
way.
contradictory thing, and I'm like, no, just Keep your face how it is. Thank you.
That's the name of your podcast. You just did it. It's called Hurry Up and Wait.
Keep your face as it is. Thank you. By
You ready to
Kendra.
rock and roll?
Ready to rock and roll. We got a lot of things coming up. Kendra's going to be interviewed on Teddy Unscripted this morning at 10:30. So stay tuned for the in-depth knit and gritty.
I don't know how you end this thing. I don't understand.
The knit and gritty, is that what it's called?
What?
The knit and gritty? What is it, Teddy?
Yeah,
Nitty gritty.
Nitty gritty.
Nitty gritty.
What's the
Nitty gritty,
nitty-gritty?
thank you. They're going to get in depth on Kendra on Teddy Unscripted today at 10:30.
Well, I warn you if you do, because she gets deep.
But the
I love it.
songs are amazing.
That's what I need. That's what I want.
There you go. There you go. They want you to be you.
Cafe Press is out, so check your inbox. We're also going to be sending out on our MobiPop. To get our MobiPop, all you have to do is text Cafe, C-A-F-E, to 55312. We'll get that rocking and rolling for you. We also have Fuego coming on today.
Yes.
Maybe the girls are coming
I
in.
think so. I don't know.
To do that, Teddy's got a great meeting. Actually, the timing is perfect because Kendra's here, and we'll talk about that off air, a vodka company. So
And soon, you will hear about Kendra's fan club and her podcast channel.
I think Troy, you should join Kendra
he will.
Erica's fan club.
He
Troy
will.
will be the first top
I
fan.
got 50 guys that want to join. You kidding me?
I know. And buffets, I don't know, Jeff Greenberg, just keep your clothes on at the buffet. That's all I can say.
Okay, that's enough of that.
Congratulations on your opening Friday of promo stuff for you. We'll be back at 12 o'clock. Have a great morning, everyone. Be safe, be kind, wash your hands.
And as always, don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show is over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. Well, see you next time.
In the cold and sleepless nights, I wait for you to bring me back to life. In my electric eyes, it doesn't mean that time can thicken every single breath. I want to unfreeze my heart and fly away. That's why I wanna save her. Your moons and craters. Open up my eyes, waterfalls of ice, sweeping me away like an avalanche. Helpless as I fall, the words can't say it all, sweeping me away like an avalanche, like an avalanche. I listen for a sound, waiting deep inside my maze of sweeping thrills and colors, just to reapply.